Let's go ahead and thread the text inside of here. Now, later on, I will show you how to actually put real text in here and why these linked together will be super useful. But for now, we're going to use just placeholder text. It's very common that as a designer, somebody else may be actually doing the writing. So you need to get the layout ready and done, and then eventually someone will give you the text to use. But you need to see what it looks like when the text is there. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to select this first frame using your black arrow. So take the black arrow, click on the first frame. Go ahead and double click on it. Notice what happened is it immediately switched from your selection tool to your text tool. What this is going to let us do is we're going to be able to put in placeholder text inside of this frame. But in order to see this happen, what I want to do is make sure that you have your cursor in there. There we go. And then let's go ahead and go to type in the menu at the top. And let's go ahead and scroll down. And I'm going to choose fill with placeholder text. I'm going to click on it. So what that just did is it just threw in a whole bunch of just gibberish. It's also what's known as Greeking. What this did is this put in all of this text here. Now, I'm not sure why it's showing up pink. Usually that means it's because the font that we're using is not there. Oh, it's because I originally created this file on my desktop. So what we're going to do is see how this has the brackets. This is actually a good point to look at. So when the font is not installed, this is InDesign's way to let you know, hey, watch out, this isn't going to print right. It's going to replace it with just a plain text. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to, inside of the text frame, make sure that it's a cursor that's in there. Then go ahead and if you double click, it selects the word. If you triple click, it selects the line. If you click 4 times, it selects the paragraph. And if you just click multiple times, it will end up selecting everything. Now, another way around that would be just somewhere inside of one of these text boxes, press Control A or Command A. It'll select it all. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to reduce the size of the text. Let's try size 10. Yeah, let's do 10. 12 is way too big for most fonts, for most layouts especially. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like 10, and let's go ahead and change the font here. So right now it's set as Century. What I want to do is I want to choose something different. So let's go up here and let's see if I can find something that I haven't already installed. I don't want it to be Minion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this filter and I'm going to choose a serif font with serifs. What that will do is that'll show me just the fonts that are here. And I'm going to go ahead and use Palatino. Actually, no, I take that back. Let's try doing Cambria, and let's do Cambria Regular. If you don't have Cambria Regular, check to see if you have Adobe Garamond, or you can try Palatino. So just something that looks similar. You just don't want a sans serif font for this one. All right, there we go, Cambria. That looks pretty good. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, but see what happened is that particular font is shorter than what was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click a couple times inside of here and press Control A. So I'm selecting all of the text again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and fill it with more placeholder text. So I'm going to do fill with placeholder text. Now it fills it with the rest of it. Okay. So that part looks good. So now I'm going to take the black arrow and click away. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create this quick header up here. Okay, so I'm going to take a text box tool, so this type tool, and I'm going to draw right there, and I'm going to type in the word revisit. Again, it's showing up pink because I was using Century. This time, I want to change the filter, and I want to change it to a sans serif. I want a thick sans serif, so this heavyweight. And now I can go through take a look and see what's going to show up. Let's go ahead and use Verdana. There's not a lot of fonts installed on here, so it's not going to be exact, but this is just a placeholder. Then I'm going to increase the size till it's about the same size. Not going to be exact because the font is slightly different, but not a big deal. All right, so something like that. So I just changed the box sizes. Notice what I'm doing when I grab this box in the corner. I'm pressing the Control and the Shift key to be able to change the size of that. That's going to let me scale the size. If I just do the Shift key, it's not changing the font. I mean, it's not changing the text on the inside. So I'm just going to hold down the Control and the Shift. That looks pretty good. All right, now I'm going to zoom out. I want to move this over to this side. I'm going to hold down the Alt key or Option key on a Mac. And I'm going to drag this over. And now I'm going to zoom in. I'm just going to snap that up towards the top. Now, I don't remember what this side said. So the box, unfortunately, is covering it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the box, the picture placeholder, and I'm going to use this little swap so I can see underneath. I can look up here and it's King Kong. All right, so if I type King Kong in here, it's going to run out of space. So watch what happens. I do King in all caps, Kong. I can't get the thing to fit because the text is a little bit longer. So I'm going to move this and make this longer. And I'm going to go ahead and right align that. And I'm going to change it from bold. I'm going to change it to regular. And I'm going to hold down the Alt or the Option key on the Mac and my right arrow and click a couple times to adjust the tracking. And I'm going to go back in and highlight that. Right now it's black. It looks white, but it's black because I've got it highlighted. I actually do want it to be white. So I'm going to do 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. And now click like over here by Kong. That will reselect the frame. At least it should. Oh, actually it's not. I forgot we did the stroke. We got to click on this little line out here. There. Now the thing is selected. And you can flip it. All right. And then go ahead and click away. And let's go ahead and put some text into this text box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. I'm going to move this over. By copying and pasting it, it's taking the same text that was here, that was in this other one, the same format, but it's broken the link. So that way, if I click here, notice when I highlight, it's not highlighting the text because I don't have the output linked to here. I don't want it to link to there. But what I do want is I want to change this font color. Since it's on a gray box, it's going to show up black on gray is super hard to read, but being able to do that looks better. Now, one of the things that's also hard to read is when you put a colored background and you have text, you've got to do a couple things. You usually have to increase the tracking, the leading a little bit, so it makes it a little bit easier to read. You might even have to increase the size to be able to make that a little bit more readable on the gray box. All right, click away. And that's all I want to do for this one. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to structure this first page, and then we'll finish up with the page numbers. If you haven't saved your file in a while, like I haven't, I've gotten way too risky. I'm going to hit save and go ahead and save yours, and let's move on to the next video.